Hey, how you doing? This is Craig Beck, aka the Stop Drinking Expert from StopDrinkingExpert.com, presenting a video entitled "What's the Best Way to Quit Drinking?" World's shortest video, right? I'm just going to say go to StopDrinkingExpert.com. No, that would be pointless. Obviously, I believe in my system; it works for me, but I understand that the correct answer to that question, "What's the best way to quit drinking?" is it depends. Because it's different for everyone. And there is no one solution to this problem that is the best, that is more effective than everything else. And if you ever come across anyone who claims that, run a mile because they're lying to you. Um, we have a default option for alcohol problems. Does that mean it's the best option? No. Um, I think as a species and as our medical profession, we're pretty lazy about coming up with solutions to alcohol problems because you know how it works. You say to anyone, you open up and you say to someone, I think I've got a drinking problem. What do they say? They say, all right, well, you better get yourself to AA. And it is true that for some of those people who are given that well-intentioned advice, AA will turn out to be their savior. It will save their life. Fantastic. But the official kind of success rate of long-term abstinence from alcohol with AA is about 8%. So a 92% failure rate. My argument has always been that we wouldn't accept that sort of poor number in anything else in life. You go to the doctor with any other condition, and the doctor says to you, I've got a solution to your problem, but there's a 92% chance it's not going to work. You wouldn't have it, would you? You'd say, find me something else. I don't care what it is, find me another option because that one sucks. So a lot of people say to me, Craig, I don't understand why you're so critical of AA. And the truth is, I'm not. I don't hate AA. I know that it works for some people. My problem with AA has got nothing to do with AA itself. It's the fact that we're so lazy that it's our default option. The 92% failure rate is our default option. For example, because it's the in thing to do, it's the big trendy thing to do, I asked AI, what is the best way to quit drinking? And this is what it came up with. Here's the question at the top. What's the best way to quit drinking? And it says the best way to quit drinking varies from person to person, as individual circumstances and reasons for drinking are unique. However, several strategies have been proven effective for many people looking to quit or reduce their alcohol consumption. Here are some suggestions to help you quit drinking. And the suggestions it comes up with is the same useless horseshit that most GPs give you when you go to them and tell them that you've got a drinking problem. Set clear goals. Make a plan. Seek support from groups such as Alcoholics Anonymous with a 92% failure rate or Smart Recovery. Remove temptations. Eliminate alcohol from your home because that works, doesn't it? Replace drinking with healthier habits. Take up yoga instead. I mean, it's the most benign, useless, pointless advice. And I'm sure the people who come up with this garbage mean well. But to say to someone with a drinking problem, have you considered yoga? Honestly, what is wrong with you? Are you so dense that you can't see that it's more complicated than that? Of course, I considered yoga. Of course, I've considered mindfulness and managing my stress better, but it doesn't work. And, I think we got to stop this laziness. You got a drinking problem. Oh, well, maybe try some meditation. And if that doesn't work, go to AA. Come on. I mean, this is the level of medicine that we were back at, in the leeches days, when you would go to the doctor in the Middle Ages and say, I have a pox. And the doctor would put a leech on you and say, don't worry, the leech will suck out the bad poison and leave you healthy. Saying to someone with a drinking problem that maybe you should consider mindfulness is the same level of medicine. It's absolutely retarded. So, to pull myself back to the point of the video, what's the best way to quit drinking? the best way to quit drinking is the approach that resonates with you. Now, some people don't like the way I deal with this problem because I'm too black and white. I'm too hard truths about it. I don't sugarcoat stuff. And some people are they're a little bit sensitive, and they want to be treated nicely and with kid gloves, and they want to be handled very gently through this process. And so when they come across someone like me, they find me a bit abrasive. I'm basically, do you want to fix this problem or you don't? It's a binary situation. Do you want to drink alcohol or you don't? Because I can help you not drink alcohol. What I can't do is help you slowly taper off and then reduce a little bit and then only at the weekends. And it's 1 or 0 for me. And I don't have a lot of time for excuses or justifications as to why it's different for you, or why, because your life has been so bad, you need this as a crutch. I don't buy any of that nonsense, and I won't accept it from my clients. If you want to stop drinking, I'm going to give you the solution, both barrels between the eyes. So if you're the sort of person that likes common sense, logic, and a rationale behind, then my approach to this is going to work very well for you. And you should go to the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com, and sign up for the free webinar. That is the journey. If you want a more of a faith-based approach, where you're told that there is a divine intervention that can help you with this, and there's nothing you need to do apart from have faith, then absolutely my approach is not going to work for you, because there's no faith involved. Because it doesn't work for me. Don't forget, I'm not a doctor. I am here to relay to you what helped me deal with this problem. And what didn't help was being told that, don't worry, God is going to intervene and cure your drinking. Because unless you can prove that to me, it's not going to wash. I'm just not going to buy it. And if I don't buy it, it's probably not going to work. So if a faith-based experience is better for you, then certainly go with AA. Certainly go with, a more religion-based process, and there are plenty of them out there. And I'm not saying they don't work just because it doesn't work for me. It might work for you. That's the whole point of this video. Now, just to touch on another point here. Maybe you have some resources. Maybe you have some money, and you want this problem fixed quickly. And a lot of people ask me, is the best route then to go one-on-one with me, to do one-on-one coaching, or even not with me, to find another sobriety expert and have one-to-one sessions, intensify the process? And you might be surprised to hear me say the answer is no. I buy into coaching. I have coaching myself. I have therapy myself. Because I'm a therapist doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm still broken in various parts of my life. I just share my knowledge on a part of my life that I've taken control of. So I buy very much into the premise of having therapy, having coaching, but I don't recommend it as a long-term solution for alcohol problems. Why? Because I believe if you want this journey to be successful, if you want to find your happy, sober self, then you have to do most of the work yourself. You have to have this awakening yourself. It's not something that somebody can have for you or help you do the work. I can sit with you one-on-one for hours on end, and you can pay me hundreds of dollars an hour, and I'll repeatedly tell you the story that alcohol is not what it appears to be. It is not a relaxant. It's not a treat. It's not a pleasure. It's not social lubricant. It's not any of the nonsense that the world believes. It is only attractively packaged poison. And I will sit with you for hours and tell you stories about how that is the case. But will that change your belief structure just because I tell you? Probably not. Because consciously, you already know it. If you're watching this video now, you know consciously that alcohol is bad for you, don't you? So why are you still drinking if you know it? Because addiction is not a conscious routine. It's a subconscious routine. It's your subconscious mind that has incorrectly built a program to address a problem with a solution that causes more problems than the original problem. You're in a loop, a subconscious loop. And it doesn't matter how conscious you are of the problem, you cannot get access to the subconscious program that is creating your addictive environment. So that's why I say this coaching is great if you've already invested in my course, or you've done another course with someone else, or you've read all this stuff and you consciously know the full story. Coaching can be helpful to kickstart you, to get you going, but I don't think it's helpful to book like 10 sessions and use it as a crutch. You don't need more than one coaching session with me, because believe it or not, I don't deliberately hold information back in case you come back. I give you everything. I give you all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the tools. I don't keep a secret box to go, but this is really the solution. So if you have a one-to-one coaching session with me and then you book a second one, I'm not going to tell you anything different in the second one than I told you in the first one. So you're just wasting your money, really. So if you want to quit drinking and you want to do it with me, here's what I suggest you do. You sign up to the webinar, you do the course. And for most people, that will be all you need. If you need a little bit of extra, then you can book a one-to-one coaching session with me, and we'll spend an hour together just going through your sticking points and putting you on the right path. But at no point will I encourage you to do more than one. I don't think it's helpful. I don't think it's useful. So that's my thinking on coaching. Let's just quickly touch on rehab. Apart from AA, rehab is the Hollywood default for drinking problems, isn't it? If you've got a bit of money, if you're famous and you admit to your agent or your manager, hey, I've got a bit of a drinking problem, what do they say? Well, they don't say go to AA, because despite it saying anonymous in the title, it's not really, is it? Imagine if you're famous and you go to an AA meeting. Everyone in that room goes, hey, famous person. What do they do when they get home? You're not going to believe who I saw at AA. So it's not really anonymous. So your agent, your manager is going to say, let's get you booked into rehab. What is rehab? Well, rehab is AA with some drugs in a nice hotel. You stay in a nice facility with trees and nice comfy chairs, and you go through the 12 steps, the AA process. But a doctor will occasionally come in and give you some benzodiazepine and monitor you through the process. And for this privilege, you will spend $80,000. Yeah, £50,000, £60,000, something like that. $70,000, $8,000, in that ballpark. You will take a month off work and you will spend a month doing talking therapy, doing various distraction techniques, but essentially doing the AA method in an enclosed environment. And again, for some people, it's a lifesaver. For some people, it literally saves their life. But it's not something that would work for me, because it is essentially just the 12 steps, and I never really bought into the 12-step process. So they're your options, basically. That's pretty much it. You could go to your doctor, and maybe you'll find a sympathetic GP out there who will prescribe you medication to help you stop drinking. I don't think it's your first stop, to be honest with you. Maybe it's your second stop, your third stop, if something else hasn't worked. But taking a drug to cure a drug problem kind of seems a bit half-assed to me. And we don't have very good drugs when it comes to alcohol addiction. We only have 2 or 3. We have naltrexone, we have antabuse, we have acamprosate, and yeah, some of them are opioid inhibitors. Some of them are, well, antabuse makes you allergic to alcohol. But where they all fall down is you have to take the tablet for the cure to work. And what I found myself is I just chose not to take the tablet. Or I take it for a week and say, well, I've been such a good boy this week, I'm going to stop taking the tablet this weekend and have a weekend off. And you'll be surprised how quickly you get from having a weekend off to having a week off, to having a month off, to having the summer off, to having, well, I'll get started next year. That's kind of how it goes with drugs, because it still requires willpower for you to take the tablet. And I found that particularly unhelpful and ineffective. Some people may be different. All right, I hope that helps. It's not a clear answer, hence this video is 15 minutes long. You know, it seems like a simple question, doesn't it? What's the best way to quit drinking? You'd think a sentence follows that, but it's not, because this is a very complicated condition. All I can tell you with certainty is this sort of advice that you get from well-meaning people, from search engines, from AI devices, from doctors, to set clear goals, make a plan, seek support, remove temptations, is next to useless. It's just verbal diarrhea because they don't know what else to say. So I encourage you, if you're here because you're worried, you take ownership of this. This is your problem to fix. This is your responsibility. You decide the next step. Just make sure there is a next step. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Discover the world's most successful and respected online quit drinking program today.
It gives you real mental freedom from the clutches of alcohol.
Craig Beck helps you understand what alcohol does to you, how it works.
Are you finally ready to take action? Your sober journey begins 11 a.m. Sunday. Reserve your space at my next free